We have organized an expert talk on importance of innovation and entrepreneurship to transform Bharat. This year we are also celebrating the 25 years of GGSIP and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is an initiative by the Government of India to celebrate 75 years of independence and the glorious history of its people, culture and achievements. First of all, I would like to call the chairperson of GGSIP University USS ACM Student Chapter, Mr. Rahul Johari, to share some insights about our ACM chapter. Over to you.
Good afternoon to one and all present in the hall. I, Rahul Johari, on behalf of GGSIP University USS ACM Student Chapter, would like to welcome you all in this exciting speaker talk on impact of innovation and entrepreneurship to transform Bharat. I would like to thank our honorable guest, Mr. Sarthak Goel, Dean of USAR and USAI, Professor Arvinder Kaur, and our branch mentor, Dr. Rahul Johari, and all the other faculty members present in the hall, and all the students. With the motto of advancing computing as science and profession, we at GGSIP University USS ACM Student Chapter are moving strong with a community of over 700 students and over 30 events in the past year. Our new initiatives like ours, a podcast for students, was also received well by the students. Today's speaker talk is going to play a pivotal part in our quest to reach excellence. Thank you for showing up, and I assure you that you will learn a lot over the next hour. Thank you. Happy learning and happy computing.
Before beginning with the session, I would like to brief you about our GGSIP University USS ACM Student Chapter. Our chapter was launched in 2019 to promote computer science culture in USS. At USS ACM Student Chapter, we see a world where computing helps solve tomorrow's problem, where we use our knowledge and skills to advance the profession and make a positive impact. In the past few years, USS ACM Student Chapter has conducted multiple events, both online and offline, to promote the motto of advancing computer and science as profession among the students and get most of the people connected to ACM community. Despite the COVID pandemic and lockdown, we kept working without any break to give the stage to many professional and students to learn various computer science skills and grow with the community. What makes us different from other USS clubs is that we have achieved 300% membership growth, conducted 40 plus events in a year, and we are recognized as an international community. A very famous saying, hard work is the key to success, is very well proved by our ACM team. USS ACM was awarded an Outstanding Website Award and was declared as the 7th best chapter all over India. A few of the benefits which are provided by ACM are you can get access to ACM's flagship publication, lifelong learning center, student research competitions, ACM career and job centers, and the clubs that ACM offers. Some of the recent events conducted by ACM are Zomato case study, 6 companies 30-day challenge, Deco Disaster 2.0, hashtag and much more. ACM would never have achieved its goals without the guidance and mentorship by our faculty coordinators. Professor Arvinder Kaur, who is also the Dean of USAR and USDI, Professor Praveen Chandra Sir, Dean of USIC, Dr. Rahul Johari Sir, Dr. Ruchi Sharawat Ma'am, and Dr. Jaspreet Singh Ma'am. 9 daughter clubs under USS ACM are Research Cell, DevSource, Endgame, Innovate AI, Cyber Change, Adobe XD, Robotics, ICTC, and Entrepreneurship. Dr. Rahul Johari Sir teaches at USAR, University, Delhi. He is also founder and the faculty mentor of IT startups, UDIB Technologies Private Limited. So, sir, could you please?
Good afternoon all. The branch chairman of the ACM USIT chapter, now ACM USAR chapter. I welcome every one of you to the first offline event. And it feels the pleasure to welcome Mr. Sarthak Goel. He is one of the USIT alumni. We are proud of the event. I welcome our honorable dean ma'am, Professor Arvinder Kaur, Dr. Rahul Johari and Dr. Kirti Batra, who is also heading the IAC cell of the USAR. So this is the first offline event we are having for the ACM and USAR chapter. We started the USAR chapter under the supervision of ma'am only in January 2019. So I still remember 18 January 2019 was the date, and now the date we have got good strength. So at that point of time we only had 5 students who actually came forward, and together with them we started the journey of the ACM USIT. But later on with the leaps and bounds we grew. Many students joined us from the various branches of the IT, CSC and EC at the USICP. Then we faced a challenge how to reach out to the students, because we didn't have any platform, we didn't have any WhatsApp group or website. So we started working on the USIT website exclusively for the ACM chapter as such. So many students joined in, Harsh joined in, Anuj joined in, and Goranshi, you all know this from the USAR. And we designed the website for the USIT chapter. And since the commitment was very good from the student side, we are proud to say that our website was voted as the best ACM website in the entire world. And that's all in the $500 award for our website. Again, credit goes to the ACM team who made us proud making our website and reaching out to the student community at large. Then some of the students from the ACM chapter even went to the US and Europe and participated in the programming contest, as well as in the quiz contest, as well as in the hackathons. So ACM has grown for the last 3 years, and again we'll have the election next month. So those of you who are interested in becoming a part of this journey, do apply for it. So nomination will be open, the USIT students also, and for the USAR students also. So join it only if you are willing enough to conduct event, organize event. So just don't be very passive member, lazy member. They all have been working very hard, making every event successful as well. So we require active, dynamic, passionate members who can join the USIT chapter and the USAR chapter, because we are having a common chapter, both for USIT and USAR. We do not have a rival chapters competing against each other also. And also under the supervision of ma'am, we are opening up with the ACMW chapter, because in our chapter there are very few girls. Even today's audience, the girls are very hardly 5 or 6. So we want our female community to come up front and lead the chapter. So we started with the ACM Women chapter, and I want every one of you to be a part of it. Take the position of chair, take the position of vice chair, and join with this chapter. Or maybe work as an independent chapter. But almost all the good universities in India and abroad have both the chapters. One is the ACM chapter and one is the ACM Women chapter. Also, we are looking forward to the nomination from the IEEE chapter. So we will not have a separate independent alone IEEE chapter in the USAR. We will have a joint chapter with the USIT as well. So the students from here can go and participate in the events there. And the USIT students, just like the Anuj and Harsh, they can come here and participate in the USIT. So we'll open up the invitation for the IEEE chapter events also. So if you're interested in becoming a member, chair, vice chair, secretary or treasurer of any of the IEEE chapter, you can come forward. So here Dr. Ashish Pai and Dr. Kamaldeep Kaur. These are 2 teachers who are handling the IEEE chapter. So either you can contact them directly, or you just come to me, I will help you to connect to these teachers as well. But become a member of any of the chapters, any of the technical society. Because if you really want to grow yourself technically, culturally, and make your profile good, because the final year company campus placement drive takes place, even Sarthak will guide you for that matter. The companies are looking for all-rounders. What all you have done in your college life. So not only your academics are important, your marks are important, no doubt about that. But what else you have done in the 4 years of your college stay, and how many events you have contributed academically, culturally, technically as well. So become a part of any of these societies. For the girls, I will still recommend, because we are starting the ACM Women chapter, so we require good participation and active involvement. For the normal chapter, gender neutral, that is already working for the last 3 years, so we don't have any problem with that. For the new chapter, we require active participation, zeal, a passion to drive the chapter and take a long at us. The founder members are always welcome, because they can contribute a lot of time.
Hello.
All those female students, they should come forward, and next month the juniors will also be joining. So we can reserve the post of chair and vice chair for the seniors, and then the joint secretary and treasurer for the juniors. invite Sarthak on the stage, please. We request team ma'am to welcome Mr. Sarthak to the sampling. And the certificate of appreciation for his contribution. Now I kindly request team ma'am to say a few words of wisdom to all of us.
गुड आफ्टरनून। मेरी आवाज उतनी है, आवाज तुम्हारी आई, इतने लोगों ने बोला गुड आफ्टरनून। So good to see all of you here. Last time also we had one program and students were there, but I am finding few seats still vacant. Last time they were all full. So in technical events like this is an opportunity for you to interact with alumni, interact with experts. So you should utilize this. This is for all those of your classmates who are not here today. Because these kinds of opportunities, what you learn in these kinds of opportunities, you even don't know yourself. And you will come to know after you have passed out, because you will find that this student, this classmate of our class तो पढ़ता तो नहीं था, पर बड़ी अच्छी जगह पे पहुंच गया। The reason being कि वो क्लास से बाहर भी बहुत कुछ करता था, है ना? So it's very important. These events don't just teach you technically; they teach you many skills which you can't learn in class at all. Okay, organizing skills, नहीं चल रहा, ठीक कराना है, घुमाना है, how to manage, how to attend, because this is what you are going to do in corporate world later on also. So it's very important that you attend these kinds of functions. And again, as Rahul has already said, that fortunately or unfortunately, IEEE Women section was also started when I was Dean of USICP. And ACM chapter neutral was started when I was Dean, and now we are going to start both women chapters over here. And I hope we have better presence of girls in these schools than in USICT. In computer science IT we have less girls, and what I could find is we have much more better presence of girls in this school of USAR. So I think we will have good section of ACM women as well as IEEE women chapter. These two organizations, you have so many clubs under them and you have other clubs also, but IEEE and ACM are internationally recognized bodies. Internationally recognized, it is not just recognized, very well-known bodies. They are the best bodies known in technical world, in all over world. So being a part of these societies and being part of, as a student, you can attend, you have lots and lots of opportunities if you actively participate in this. The opportunities in the sense, as Rahul has already said, that students participated in international conferences. You, as a student chapter, you will be sponsored to attend those events if you do well in these kind of clubs or these kinds of organizations. So lots and lots. It's just difficult to tell you how many opportunities you can get if you participate in these events actively. So I definitely hope that we soon have IEEE Women's section as well as ACM Women's section in the school. And other, as I told you last time also, any other suggestions from your side, suggestions for new clubs, you all are welcome. The only thing is you need to participate in this. Once we start with the hostels, so then at that time we feel that after 5 to 7 should one conference hall or one auditorium should be open and we can have regular activities. Now we are doing it only on weekly basis because we have to do in the college timings up to 5. But once hostel is open, I think that doesn't become, that limitation would be over. So we can have, every day we can have activity of one club or the other, but the only thing is you have to participate actively. Another thing where it's so good to see our own alumni students doing well. So there is a saying that एक parents हैं जो बहुत खुश होते हैं जब बच्चे आगे बढ़ते हैं और एक teachers को बड़ी खुशी होती है जब अपने students आगे जाते हैं. When we know कि ये बच्चा वहाँ पहुँच गया, ये बच्चा वहाँ पहुँच गया, and when they meet us back, we really feel very proud. So it's so good to know that Sarthak has come today and he's actually ready to help you all in your startup journey, in your entrepreneurship journey. And it is also very good to know that these USICT students which travel all the way from Dwarka to this campus to support you. So you are lucky that you are seniors yourself, and you are lucky other way around that you have seniors to guide you also. So you have both advantages. You yourself being senior in USAR, and then you have USICT support to guide you. They have their clubs, they are helping you out. They started with those classes for the students. They are, I'm actually very appreciative of USICT taking the time they take their days off and travel from that part of. It's not near East and West campus. They are not near, but then also. But they take out time to help you. So I think you should support them also, and whatever the vision which they have come over here to support you, that you take it. That's all from my side. I think Sarthak has much to share with you, and we would especially like to hear from him. From his entrepreneurship journey, and we want, when Sarthak did his entrepreneurship journey, we did not have any incubation center in the university. But now for you, we also have an incubation center in the university, taking advantage of that. And even, as I was saying, that is open for the alumni of alumni also. So take advantage of this journey, and we are looking forward for many, many startups from USAR in the coming years. Thank you so much.
Hello students, a very good afternoon to all of you. Ma'am and your colleagues, Dr. Rahul Johari sir and Sarthak Entrepreneur. So students, as you are aware that we have started Institution Innovation Council. So this is basically an ecosystem which is started by Ministry of Education, and under the Institution Innovation Council, it's basically meant for fostering the culture of innovation, ideation, developing of creativity, and how do you move from the concept of ideation towards startup. So normally you feel like, okay, I have a plan for startup, but startup is not something that is going to develop overnight, right? So initially you have to develop an idea on that startup, then that idea has to be followed by some prototype. So you have to think about how are you going to develop the prototype based upon the idea. The government, there is a website of MHRD, and you have a Yukti portal for that. On the Yukti portal, you have a concept of, you can submit your ideas, you can submit your prototype. Also, there are training levels also, and they have given the technology readiness. There are levels of technology readiness. So, if you are interested into doing something which converts an ideation into an entrepreneurship concept, so you need to understand that how that idea will be converted into a prototype first, and further with the help of that prototype you will convert it into there will be a concept of business plan also coming in there, wherein that business plan finally will be converted into a startup. So you need incubation centers also. So we are actually developing many things parallelly. There is also an ideas you have. So we have a complete semester 1 and semester 2, and we have divided the complete year into 4 quarters. Under these 4 quarters, the first quarter is altogether dedicated to ideas. So you can present your ideas. We can have workshops on ideation. We can have workshops on design thinking. Then the second quarter is dedicated to development of prototypes. Okay, so you can have your demonstration with the help of poster presentation or any quiz competition based upon those prototypes. In the third quarter, it is altogether based upon making business plans out of that prototype, and then finally we will be moving towards the start. Furthermore, also to look into that what type of investors you are looking. So you are, suppose you are making a startup today, but you need to work out that okay, where will be the market? You need to study your market. So for instance, India has a 130 crore population. All the 130 crores of population cannot be your audience, right? So you have to figure out what section is your audience, how are you going to reach to your audience, and how your idea is going to click there. So before working on this journey, I think you need to do a lot of homework, and please go through the website of MHRD, of Institution Innovation Council, ISC website. There is a Unity portal in which you, if you have ideas, you can just follow that. Unity portal, you can submit your ideas through Unity portal. You can submit your prototypes also through Unity portal. And if you have a patent, then there are other portals also. Kapila portal is there. AIRLG portal is also there. So there are several portals. So I welcome you all students, and I will be looking for enthusiastic students who can join hands in hand, and we can work together for the development of this concept. So I hope we can have many more startups coming from USAR students. Okay, and we will be moving ahead from ideation towards start. So it's a complete journey. So thank you so much, students. Okay, so I welcome you all, and please join hands so that and make proposal for your ideation. Discuss the proposals. We can have meetings, weekly meetings, and we can discuss the proposals and how do you think that your idea. So one thing is very important when you're looking for an idea is your human-centered approach. So whenever you are developing an idea, okay, so for instance, that the bulb was invented. So the bulb was invented with a human-centered approach. That is, everyone has to have that bulb. So develop an idea with a human-centered approach, how humans are going to get benefited. So if you have any idea which can be beneficial for the society or for humans, then that idea will definitely be clicked and that can work on in getting it converted into a startup. Okay, students. So wish you best of luck. So I welcome you all to the ISC cell, and today's talk by Sarthak also is also on innovation and entrepreneurship. So let's hope that we have lots of entrepreneurs and lots of startups coming up from you people of USAR. Thank you, students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for expressing your thoughts with our audience. So now moving on. So in this session, you will get answers to questions like what's the future of startups and how can we be a part of entrepreneur world, etc. The session will be taken by our alumni, Mr. Sarthak Goel Sir, who founded Invoid in 2018. Invoid has helped Equitas, BharatPay, Rapido, WazirX, Shadi.com and many onboard millions of customers. He is a Y Combinator, W21 alumni and has raised funds from the Valley. Built a $1 million plus ARR business, Invoid was acquired in 2022. A successful exit after building a remote company and reaching profitability. He is here to share his set of stories from becoming a B2B first-time founder, bootstrapping it, and then raising funds from the world's most prestigious accelerator, working with unicorns and listed companies, and finally successfully executing it. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are all here and keen to hear from you. So now without any further ado, I will request Mr. Sarthak Sir to accept our token of respect and sapling from us.
till afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for patiently waiting. That's the first quality of trying to do something out of your way. Patience and sitting there even when things are not working your way. So that's a good sign, good start for all of you. Thank you, Rahul Sir, Arvinder Ma'am, for inviting me, and faculty. I still remember, being taught by all of them, and it's pivotal in its own sense. GGSIP. When I entered, I was coming from preparing for JE for 2 years, and entering college, life is very different. Till then, you've been preparing all your life and thinking which college you go to, what branch you get. But once it's locked, right? Once you're in it, then things are different and things are in your own hand now, right? Once you've entered any sort of college, so it's up to you how you transform it. So I think GGSIP had the right set of environment, I'd say, because we had enough time to also work on things ourselves, right? Learn new languages, understand new technologies, and if someone was interested in pursuing an entrepreneurial career, then also we had enough time and enough exposure. And I think the faculty was, any doubts you had regarding any of the topics that you wanted to pursue outside your classes, I think the faculty was very much interested. And that was great, the exposure was right there. So I'd like to thank all the faculty for, where I am now. So thanks a lot for that. Thank God the mic is working, क्योंकि मेरे को Zoom call पे धीरे-धीरे बोल के आदत बिगड़ गई है, तो मैं चिल्ला तो नहीं पाता. So thank you for you guys to making sure that it's all set, prepared, and thank you for inviting me here. Okay, so very basic question. How many of you know what is the meaning of entrepreneur? कभी Google किया है? Have you ever Googled any of you? किसी ने मतलब guess भी मारना था, that's all right. Businessman. ठीक है, तो businessman को कैसे define करते हो? करता हो, ठीक है, अश्लील लोगों ने इतना तो सिखाई दिया सबको. तो मतलब अगर आप गूगल करोगे तो entrepreneur is someone who takes financial risks for the profits to keep to themselves, right? So risk इसमें ना keyword है, right? So entrepreneurial journey is the riskiest journey, but that changes when you start young, right? As you grow older, the risks in your life are higher. So I think if you're interested in listening about it right now and you're thinking about it, I think it's the right time to think about it. If not pursue, that's up to you. But at least to think about it and give it a good thought is a great idea at this point of time, right? So my journey of building a startup. Okay, let's go back to college, so second last year and last year. I was still studying for placements, right? I definitely wanted to get placed in a great company, and as everyone in my class, nobody. I did not have a thought that I'd start something of my own, and this is what I want to build. But yes, I was inspired enough by seeing different series like Silicon Valley and TV Pictures. I think I thought that probably I could be one of them. So, but at this point of time, final year, I was still studying to get placed, right? Solving puzzles. I'm sure you guys know about these things, puzzles and DS problems and dynamic DB problems. I was doing all. I was sitting in every possible place and interview, and that is when I realized that this is something I have to do. First, I have to get a job. I have to complete my studies, get good grades, and then think about starting something else, because then you have a backup, right? I don't know if you. This is something, how many of you know, I'm sure a lot of you know Roger Federer, right? Roger Federer was not born to be a lawn tennis player. He was born to, he played every possible sports, but at the same time, his parents made sure that his education was in point, right? He was doing his school properly, because they knew it would be a backup plan for him, right? If his sports, if he could not succeed in any of those sports, then education would be one of the fallback. So that was very important to make sure that the backup was there. Okay, so then why? So I got placed. I got a PPO from Execo.com. I was working as a software developer there. Great life. Xbox खेलो, थोड़ा काम करो Xbox खेलो. Company was chill. I don't know. Anyone of you have ever worked in a startup or seen a startup culture? It's exciting to work in one, right? आपको free meals मिलते हैं and everything of that sort. Then, when I'm saying it was an amazing life, I was chilling. Why would I want to leave that job and start up, right? So startup का reason सबका अलग होता है. And my reason to start up was I wanted growth in small stipulated time, right? मेरे को 6 साल लगा के एक जॉब में उतना प्रोग्रेस नहीं करना था. I wanted to progress in smaller time period, right? And that's how I convinced my parents. So if you're not able to convince your parents to start up, believe me, a lot of people would not be convinced. So you have to first convince the closest people to let you do a startup, and that's how you will go and build that confidence, right? So building a startup, the reason should be very clear because it's a very tough journey. There are lots of ups and downs, so you should have your reason pretty much clear why you're doing it. Okay, so people think that startup. मैं थोड़ा सा mix break कर रहा हूँ. I'm trying to get the basics clear कि startup करना क्या होता है. Then we'll talk about the good parts जो आपको मैं slides में दिखाऊंगा. People think that first misconception is you become your own boss. This is a myth. You do not become your own boss. You have a lot more bosses than you would have in your job, right? You are accountable to your customers. You are accountable to your investors. You are accountable to every person who has said that you would not be able to do it. You have to prove them as well. You are accountable to the government for taxes. You are accountable to a lot of authorities, right? So this is the first myth that you become your own boss. You don't. You have a lot more bosses now. Second is people think that ये 9 to 5 का escape है. मैं तो जब मन करेगा तब काम करूँगी and that would be it. Start job में तो कुछ उठना पड़ता है, 9 बजे जाना पड़ता है, 5 बजे जाना पड़ता है. But the reality is it's a 9 to 9 job. I'm sure आप लोगों ने सुना होगा कि startup is more like a 9 to 9 job than a 9 to 5 job. It will take away your weekends. तो weekend तो भूल जाओ दोस्त. I think मेरे friends में से for the longest period of time were pissed off because they thought कि I would not meet them for weekends. And the problem was that a lot of people, you wanted to make connections, those people were available on weekends, right? For coffee or for tea outside. So you do not have weekends. So it's a 9 to 9 job and a job on weekends too. So that is the second misconception that I wanted to break for you guys. I think those were two misconceptions that I wanted to break. Plus, why do you think you see the startup culture, the startup scene now more out there? Why do you think Shark Tank is there? Why do you think people talk about entrepreneurship so casually now? Any guesses? Who said that? What exactly would you mean by investments?
Like the government is more of investing on startups as of currently than it was earlier.
Cool. Can you be a bit louder? Sorry, I can't spot you. Right.
Knowledge access very easy हुई है.
Sorry?
Knowledge access very easy हुई है.
Correct. एक तो पहले ही था.
It's not just from government, FTA भी बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब FTA भी बहुत ज़्यादा आ रहा है. और secondly, India जब अभी अपनी economic activity के स्पेस में जहाँ पे लोग बहुत ज़्यादा मिडिल क्लास से आगे निकल रहे हैं और उस वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड तो है लेकिन सप्लाई नहीं है, तो उस वजह से स्टार्टअप में बहुत अच्छा.
Cool. So you all are right in one way. So access to capital has increased. Access to capital, मतलब फंडिंग उठाना बहुत इजी हो गया है. फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली भी डाल देते हैं आजकल. तो मतलब आप बोलोगे कि यार मेरे को आई एम स्टार्टिंग समथिंग, सो एवरीबॉडी इज एक्साइटेड अबाउट इट, एवरीबॉडी इज होपफुल अबाउट इट, राइट? सो यू आर इन दैट एरा where access to capital and India is at a pedestal, right? If you say someone that I'm building a tech product from India, they will listen to you. They would not just discard you. And all of you people, I think somewhere or the other studying technology of some form, you are at the best advantage to build that, right? And you must be seeing that ops heavy company are not able to raise funds, but people who are building tech products and able to reach to masses in India, let's say from tier 2, tier 3 cities, those people also, if you're able to give technology to them, I think that is where the money is lying now. So starting up has become a bit more easy, but sustaining is still that hard, right? So back when I started, our college didn't have an incubation center, and for capital I had to go to different colleges, and specifically IIT I had to go to access capital because पहले कोई VC भी trust नहीं करता. मतलब I come from a college in Delhi that they might have heard, might not have heard, but definitely no startups were there in the scene from GGSIP. I still Google it sometimes and I can't find a lot of founders from GGSIP. So I think now that you have that credibility and access to capital is not that difficult. It doesn't matter if you're from IIT or not when starting up. But back then, like 15, 16, 2015, 16, I think back then it was much more difficult. Not saying that it was more difficult for me, but IITians would get preference for VCs or from angels. Like they were like, इसने IIT निकाला है तो ये भी निकाल ही देगा, मतलब capability. So the first rule is that they always trust the founders. So you have to build a connection with the VCs or the angels you're raising funds from to prove yourself as an ethical person, right? Who will not waste their money, who will be serious in the business. I think so. That is where they're going to put their money now, right? So it's no longer the college, it's no longer the credibility that you bring. It's how dedicated, how passionate you seem to people who are ready to put money in your business, right? So that access to capital has increased, and yeah, I think two skills which are much more required, be it a job or be it startup today, is communication skills. As Sir was clearly saying that your exposure to the outside world and आप कितना अपने आप को उन opportunities में place कर पा रहे हो. जैसे आप आज बैठे हो यहाँ पे, I think as I was saying earlier also that it's one of those events where you go and you understand things about entrepreneurship or any other thing, and it stays with you. May not be applicable tomorrow, may not be applicable day after tomorrow, but I think maybe years later you might remember something that I said that made connection or connected the dots for you, right? So you have to make sure that you have enough exposure outside world, and there are enough communication skills that you're able to grasp. So how many of you know Warren Buffett? Have you heard of Warren Buffett? Sub investor now. Warren Buffett says that the number one skill that would be important in the next 10 years will be communication skills. And he's been saying that for a while, and you will see great orators and great content creators on Instagram doing great job even when they do not have enough, let's say, technical skills, right? Because their communication skills are on point. So communication skill is a must. How you're able to communicate with people, how you're talking to them, if you're able to introduce humor in the conversations. I think those are some skills that are non-negotiable if you want to get any sort of transaction from any person. And second is running experiments quickly, right? How many of you heard, studied recursion till now? So recursion, you solve a smaller problem and repeatedly build on it, and that's how most of the things in life are, right? If you don't know where you're entering, you solve the smallest problem, run a small experiment, and then try to replicate it and scale it to a bigger set of data or any sort of algorithm. So that is how most of the things in life are. So you should be able to do these two things very clearly: repeating communication skills and running small experiments to scale it to a larger audience or larger data set. Right. So then, where is the money now? Right? Where is the major chunk? Where are people working now and investing? That's Bharat. Anybody who understands Bharat here? What I mean by Bharat? You can raise your hands. Sure. Okay. Anybody else? So you both are right in a way. Bharat is India 2.0, right? So people who have come online, come on the internet for the first time, right? You must be seeing a lot of people, on these short content platforms like TikTok to but you see a lot internet access to a lot more people now. So they are able to access internet and able to access transactions, money, loans, and investment platforms easily from their phones, right? So Bharat is where the next, the major thing is happening, and it's been happening since a while. But the companies who got on the trend earlier are benefiting from it now, right? So let's say Delivery or e-cart, right? They've all launched their IPO very recently. Why were they able to do it that clearly is because now they're able to transport things to tier 2, tier 3 cities where people have started ordering online, right? Ordering food online or using bike taxis, right? So that, and then investments also, right? One of our customers is CoinSwitch. Have you heard of CoinSwitch? CoinSwitch, WazirX, you must have heard. So they were both my customers. Funny incident, we were seeing a lot of people coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities. And Invoid is into automating verification, identity verification. So KYC, जो भी आप करवाते हो, that done using AI is what Invoid solves. Right? So CoinSwitch and WazirX were getting a lot of consumers from the tier 2, tier 3 cities. And we were scared that someone was running a scam in these cities because it was unbelievable for me to think that someone from a tier 2, tier 3 city understands cryptocurrency as a concept, forget investment. But then I talked to CoinSwitch's founder and he said that, this is what has become our USP. People are investing as low as 100 rupees from tier 2, tier 3 cities because they now understand the concept of savings and investment, right? So Bharat is now a section of audience, a target audience for these kind of products which were there only for the creme de creme layer of tier 1 cities, right? So the kind of services that they are able to get now is lending, right? They can access loans from sitting in their homes. Investments I've told already. They're also working, right, as a software developers. They've learned software on YouTube or any of those tech platforms and able to get jobs outside. So, that is where if you're building something for the India 2.0 or Bharat, it's a great opportunity and it's also providing value to people who don't have access to it, right? So that is what I meant by entrepreneurship and innovation in Bharat is where the real stuff is, where the VCs are running or where you want to invest money or build businesses which are valuable, right? That's all that I had, technically written that I wanted to talk. There's a small slideshow I'll run you through. If you're actually thinking of building something and starting it, what are some key basic fundamental things that you should know? Might not be helpful today if you're not starting today, but probably after 10 days, after 10 years, if you remember these concepts, I'll be happy that you got to know them through me. So this is, I think, enough introduction about me. I bootstrapped my company. How many of you know bootstrapping? Can you tell me the meaning of bootstrapping? Cool. देसी भाषा में सही है. Bootstrapping is जब आपके पास दूसरे का पैसा नहीं अपना पैसा लगाने के लिए. So how do you start? So I started up by bootstrapping. I bought a GPU because we were building AI models. So I bought a GPU worth 1.5 lakhs. उस टाइम पे बहुत ज़्यादा होता था. I had to bring my savings in to buy that GPU. But I think now तो GPUs are cheaper also on the cloud also. So bootstrapping was that. The cost. Exit. I've taken a start of exit. How many of you know Y Combinator? I did not expect that, but that's great. I mean, you guys know Y Combinator. Y Combinator is world's most prestigious investor/accelerator. The other companies that they invested in is Zepto. You must have heard of Zepto. Razorpay, Grow, Airbnb. There are a lot more companies. Twilio, GitLab, Dropbox. All these companies are Y Combinator invested companies. So is Invoid, my company. First time founder, did not have any experience, no mentors, nothing. So did not have a single lecture by someone who's built a startup. So that was something I had to figure out on my own. B2B, how many of you understand B2B? I think I apologize, I underestimated the jargon language here. And yeah, I think I'll go to the next one. Since all of you know now what bootstrapping means, so bootstrapping has to be, you have to understand if it's an option or a necessity, right? If the first option is to go ahead and raise funds, but अगर आप raise नहीं कर पाते हो of XYZ reason, then it becomes your necessity, right? So startup करने के bootstrapping करनी पड़े तो you have to do it, because if you are passionate enough for the idea, you have to bootstrap it, no matter what, right? So you have to understand if it's an option or a necessity for you, and even if it's important or not. Okay, so business or raising game. Are you building a dhanda? Are you building a profitable business? As Ashish says, कि boss धंधा बनाने आया हूँ मैं, blah blah blah. So are you building a business or are you building a venture fundable business? Which means that a venture fundable business is where somebody invests in you and then the next round they expect you to raise more money to give them an exit later on, right? So how many of you have heard of Zoho Freshers and all that? Zerodha and Grow, both of them. Cool. So okay, so Zerodha and Grow. How many of you use Zerodha? And how many of you use Grow? Almost equal, right? So Zerodha और Grow में equal usage है, but you know what the difference is between both of them as a startup? Zerodha is completely bootstrapped, right? Everybody knows that. But Grow is fully venture funded, right? And that is where the difference is, right? They both are building the same game, right? They both. यहाँ पे मैंने अभी छोटा सा सर्वे रन किया, half of the people use Zerodha, half of the people use Grow, right? So it's not like कि bootstrap करने से ऐसा हो जाता है या fundraise करने से different हो जाता है. It's all about the problem that you're able to solve, right? So both of these companies solve the same problem but in different methods. One is bootstrap and one is venture funded, and so is Zoho and Freshworks. I don't know if you guys have heard of Zoho or Freshworks, but the same story with them. Okay, so sweat equity. Do you guys understand sweat equity? Any of you? So that is technically equity, but sweat equity is where you. Okay, so let's say a lot of you would have an idea yourself, but you don't have partners to work with, or you're not able to find people to work with you, and you also don't have money. I'm assuming that you don't have money to build a company, so you find partners and give them equity, right? And that is sweat equity, one kind of sweat equity. And the second kind of sweat equity is founding team. You bring in engineers to work with you and you give them a part of your company, right? That's how I did for my startup. Obviously, I did not have a lot of money, and absolutely no money. I put it in the GPU, and so there were two college friends of mine, Nilansh and Rishabh. Both of them wanted to do their masters, but they weren't getting admits in the next 1 year. तो मैं उनके साथ बैठ के पिज़्ज़ा खा के उनको कन्विंस किया कि आ जाओ ये सब काम करो एंड आई गिव यू इक्विटी. और द अदर ऑप्शन वाज कि जो मैं जॉब में कमा रहा हूँ, राइट, हाफ ऑफ द सैलरी इज योर्स, राइट, बिकॉज यू आर वेटिंग फॉर योर एमएस एंड आई वांट यू टू वर्क विद मी, दिस विल हेल्प यू इन योर एमएस आल्सो. सो करके कन्विंस करके 2 महीने 3 महीने लगा के फनी स्टोरी, आई मेट निलांश फादर आल्सो कि उसको प्लीज मैं सब काम करने दो, बिकॉज फादर वाज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट कि मैं स्टार्टअप में नहीं काम करने दूंगा एंड पार्टनर भी मैं दूंगा. तो दैट इज हाउ आई गॉट द फर्स्ट सेट ऑफ पार्टनर्स एंड टीम, गिव देम इक्विटी, जितना भी थोड़ा बहुत सैलरी आल्सो यूज्ड टू शेयर. एनीवे वो एमएस करने चले गए, एक कोलंबिया गया और एक यूएसए. ज़्यादा पैसे कमाता हूँ मुझसे. ओके, सो a lot of people have this confusion कि पढ़ाई करते हुए स्टार्टअप करें या जॉब करते हुए स्टार्टअप करें, या दो मतलब पढ़ाई तो मत छोड़ना, सब रितेश अग्रवाल बन सकते हो ये वाले. तो दैट्स 1 in a million though. I mean okay, I invested in a company recently who's a 17-year-old, though I encourage them, but before that I want to make sure that their education is something that they've thought about. I asked them about their plan. So he's building something in the equity investment space. How many of you have heard of startup investing using Tyke or Satik? Have you heard? So he's building a company, 17 years old, but that's like one in like 100 case. Other pitch decks, I don't get people who have not studied enough. So, but education is important, but is job something that you could leave to work on your startup? I don't think so. And you can very well utilize the time remaining from your job to work on your startup, because as a fresher, there's not a lot of pressure on you, right? पहले 6 महीने तो ट्रेनिंग करवाएगा, जहाँ पे भी आप जाओगे. They will give you small tasks, code पढ़ने का task दे देगा या कुछ ऐसा काम दे देगा, and you will be reading those code pieces or working with the team or mingling with the team. The remaining time you can utilize to work on your startup. That is how you will start towards it, right? And you will also have a backup, right? कि अगर कोई idea जो मैंने सोचा है वो validate नहीं हुआ, या I did not have enough bias for it, you will still have a backup. So I think the best way is to not leave your job and keep working in your job and also parallelly start something and see where it goes, right? Experiment करने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है, outside dwell करने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है. अब तो I think in today's world people take two jobs also. How many of you have heard of moonlighting? Ready हो रहे हो? तो you can, so moonlighting का टाइम है लोगों के पास, तो अगर आपको entrepreneurial जर्नी परस्यू करनी है तो उसके लिए भी टाइम है, बहुत टाइम है. तो जॉब छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है और ना एजुकेशन छोड़ने की जरूरत है. मेरा एग्जांपल ठीक है, I mean I was working for a while in exigo.com and on weekends and at night I used to work on my idea, meet with my potential founders and partners, and salary का तो बता ही दिया, आधी सैलरी मेरी, आधी सैलरी मेरी एक दोस्त की. And second was GitHub. पूछने की जरूरत है, GitHub तो पता ही है सबको. GitHub was to developers who on the weekends had a problem कि हम इतना कोड लिख रहे हैं और दुनिया में लोग इतना सारा कोड लिख रहे हैं बट वो जाता है, राइट? किसी से कोड मांगो तो वो कोड शेयर करने के लिए मेल भेज रहा है या कोड शेयर कैसे कर रहे हैं. तो दैट इज व्हेन दे थॉट कि एक प्लेटफॉर्म की जरूरत है जिसमें एक कोड रिपोजिटरी बने, आई कैन शेयर कोड एंड आई कैन कीप कमिटिंग इट, एंड दैट्स हाउ GitHub was born. So GitHub is a classic example of not leaving your job and still working on an idea that you were passionate about, और एक प्रॉब्लम दिख रही है आपको उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए. So they did not leave their job and still build GitHub, and then GitHub demanded them to leave their job. मतलब कि जब GitHub में इतने यूजर्स आ गए थे और इतना ट्रैफिक आ गया था कि जॉब के साथ वो कर ही नहीं सकते थे, बस दैट इज व्हेन दे लेफ्ट द जॉब. सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी कि जॉब कब छोड़नी है, उसका क्या इंडिकेटर है. व्हेन योर स्टार्टअप विल रिक्वायर यू टू हैव सर्टेन dedication more than what you've been giving, that is when you have to leave your job. So those are some examples. Okay, ये जल्दी जल्दी डाउनलोड करा तो I don't know if you guys can read it. I'll read it for you. Grant/incubation/server credits, and उसके नीचे में यहाँ से engage closely with an organization or institute. शुरू में institution से पैसा ले सकते हो. Be it an incubation provided by GGSIP, you can get the money from them and in exchange of certain equity. So आपको VCs के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, angels के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो convince भी नहीं होने वाले इतनी जल्दी. तो better है कि आप you start working on your idea and it's an incubation from a government institute, great, like GGSIP. So I think it's great that now you guys have access to an incubator who's at an arm's length from you, so you can use them to start something of your own, pitch them an idea. वो इतना due diligence, I mean इतना questioning भी नहीं करेंगे as much as VCs. As VCs are sharks. तो shark देखते हो ना वहाँ पे एक अश्नीर है ना, वैसे अश्नीर जैसे बहुत बाहर है, और वहाँ जो 4 बाकी दिखते हैं ना, 4 या 5 जो बड़े पोलाइट हैं वैसे कम है, राइट? तो ऑब्वियसली उनको शो चलाना था तो एक ही अश्नीर अफोर्ड कर सकते थे और दूसरा लाते तो खत्म हो जाता है. तो but actually, founders I've met, I haven't gotten a chance to speak to Ashni ever, but a lot of his companies who he's invested in, I think everybody loves him outside because he's very direct, right? I mean, उसमें कोई verbose नहीं है, कुछ आलतू नहीं बोलता, वो direct to the point बात करता है. So actually, Ashni is like one of the most favorite people who people want to take investments from because the feedback is very critical. वो फालतू वालतू बात नहीं करेगा, 5 मिनट में कर लेगा, तो 5 मिनट में विल गिव यू एग्जैक्ट थिंग दैट यू वांट टू हियर। एनीवे, coming back from Kashmir, grant incubation is something that you can get from a government institute. Try कर सकते हो। Server credits, AWS, Azure, ये सब यूज करते होंगे, डिजिटल ओशन यूज करते होंगे मोस्टली कॉलेज में, बिकॉज ऑफ फ्री देता है बहुत कुछ पहले। So these you can apply for credits from them, right? Credits means that if you pitch an idea to AWS or Azure, they give you enough credits to experiment it. Bootstrapping मैंने बोल तो दिया, but you know, I got $250,000 from AWS and Azure combined to pursue my idea, right? So $250,000 बहुत होता है, गूगल कर लेना, मतलब फ्लक्चुएशन बहुत है करेंसी में। So $250,000 was what I got in server credits. Did not need any money, right? Server credits से मेरा 2 साल चल गया। Profitable कैसे हो गया? क्योंकि credits थे। Business करा, कोड डाला सारा, deploy किया, optimize नहीं किया, सोचा भी नहीं optimize का। Technical debt समझ आते हो? Anybody who understands technical debt? Okay, so जितने भी आपने आज तक कोड लिखा है, short pieces of code, you know there are some mistakes that you're doing while you're writing it. बट आप उसको छोड़ देते हो कि मैं बाद में आके देखूंगा, या जब कोड फटेगा किसी पॉइंट पे तब मैं उसको रेक्टिफाई करूंगा। एंड इमेजिन इट एट अ कमर्शियल स्केल। सो टेक्निकल डेट becomes less headache when you have server credits, because you can keep on writing, उसको स्केल करते रहो, ऑप्टिमाइज करने की जरूरत नहीं है कोड को। सो सर्वर क्रेडिट्स इज समथिंग दैट आई थिंक ऑर्डर में पहले होना चाहिए। इफ यू कैन गेट सर्वर क्रेडिट्स, योर कॉस्ट इज सॉर्टेड टू बिल्ड समथिंग। कुछ पब्लिश करना है, प्ले स्टोर पर पब्लिश करना है या क्लाउड पर पब्लिश करना है, एपीआई लॉन्च करनी है, ऑल ऑफ दैट बिकम्स इजियर। Okay, so in entrepreneurship, you will have to knock every possible door. One door could be this auditorium's door, could be any of the people you've ever met who you know can help you. You want to knock all of their doors and be shameless about it. मैं कॉल कर दो या मैसेज कर दो, ईमेल कर दो। अंकुर वाली को देखते हो ना, कोल्ड मैसेजिंग, कोल्ड ईमेलिंग के बारे में सुना है? तो कोल्ड ईमेलिंग, कोल्ड मैसेजिंग इज एक्चुअली मैजिकल, बिकॉज इफ एनी ऑफ यू had cold messaged me, I might have replied to them, and a lot of people I know do it, right? So people on the other end also like talking to people like you who are thinking about things, and you know, who are curious in nature. I was reading morning where somebody had written that I messaged Misho's founder to get a marketing role there. So cold messaging, cold emailing works, and I think that is a superpower that you should build over time. Yeah, how many of you write on LinkedIn? लिखते हो या पढ़ते हो? मतलब फर्क है। दूसरा कंटेंट पढ़ते हो, खुद भी लिखते हो? खुद लिखते हो? 1-2 बार लिखते हो? 2 साल में या कब? 1 साल में 2 बार, 1-2 बार लिखते हो? Anybody who writes like frequently, weekly? Anybody else? Oh, sorry. About anything, yeah? Anything, मतलब क्या लिखते हो? तो great, technical लिखते हो तो amazing. It will help you grab a lot of opportunities. I think LinkedIn say what I've been able to do is, I think everything that I've been able to do is through LinkedIn only. पहले तो internship LinkedIn के through, job PPO LinkedIn के through, first set of investors LinkedIn के through, mentors LinkedIn के through, and customers also LinkedIn के through. तो cold message किया, I think your product needs my product, and we should work together, make sure that you are able to onboard customers faster, and that worked. Right, so LinkedIn is something that if you haven't picked, if you aren't serious about right now, you should get serious, because आप नहीं हो रहे तो बाकी लोग तो हो ही रहे, right, in other places, so you will be left behind. So you want to make sure that every code that you're writing, everything that you're doing in your life, you are putting it out there. So building in public is not just for founders or entrepreneurs. I think it is for everyone. So 2 interns that I hired in my company, because I had approached them because they had written a blog about one of the models that they've been working on in image processing, and luckily I was suffering from the same problem in my own company, and I was trying to find people who have worked on it. and that's how the connection was made, right? So had she not written it, she wouldn't have got a chance to work on it on a production level, right? So you want to not leave those opportunities and be exposed to those opportunities. Lower CAC. Okay, so this PDF is from, okay, I'll tell you later why did I build this. Lower CAC. Anybody of you understands, anyone of you understands CAC? Hello, this is Correct. So customer acquisition cost is जहाँ पे आपको सबसे ज़्यादा पैसे जाने वाले पहले, right? To acquire those customers, to reach out to them, sales करनी है, flight लेनी है, चेन्नई बुलाएगा कोई आपको कहीं भी बुलाएगा मतलब banks सारे कि 5 मिनट की conversation के लिए वो Zoom पे नहीं आएंगे. अब तो times are different, but back in 18-19 में COVID नहीं था, तो वो 5 मिनट की conversation के I remember once an Equita Small Finance Bank I did in one of my customers as well. He called us for like a 5 minutes meeting. Just to see the product जो हम पहले उसको बता चुके थे, right? So that is the level of I don't know arrogance या pricey enterprises are in India. So you want to make sure तो वो flight का पैसा is the cost of acquisition, right? So CAC would mean anything that you're doing or spending money on to get your first customers or the first few customers. Mentorship, you can reach out to people who've been in this industry before. And you can always reach out to me and other people in the industry to get sort of help how to start and where to start. So that will help you get your first set of customers as well, right? Because they will have enough connection to pull strings for you. Okay, very technical, but just going to wrap up in like 30 seconds. This one is, whatever you're building, make sure that you are finding the smallest unit of it which can sell, right? Let's say अगर 5 APIs, how do I explain it? Okay, so let's say if Zerodha could not build a stockbroking platform पहले, but if it could make an alert platform, which is easier to make, right? Its stock brokerage functioning is very difficult as compared to एक stock एक particular price से नीचे जा रहा है and you want an alert, then that is easier. So Zerodha could solve that problem first, get initial customers, and then sell them other services which they build with time. So you want to find that smallest unit which sells and the lowest hanging fruit which you can sell. Very technical, but just bear with it. Okay, why bootstrapping or why raising funds? Bootstrapping is very difficult. खुद का पैसा लगाना plus you are building a business because you want to survive, or else you won't be able to keep pursuing it because the money will run out. So you miss doing the smaller things or the perfectionist. If you are a perfectionist, then you might not be able to do everything with bootstrapping, right? Okay, stress. I don't know, startups in general are very stressful. Well, think about it, be absolutely sure about it if you want to pursue. Now the faculty is gone. Be absolutely sure about if you want to pursue the startup journey, and if you want to be an entrepreneur, because it's very stressful. I've told you, दोस्तों के साथ जो भी chill करते हो वो chill नहीं कर पाओगे for a long period of time, and God knows till when. Yeah, so it's very stressful. Plus, if you put your own money, it's great. Why? Because you don't have external influence on your business. कोई बोले कुछ भी बोले नहीं फर्क पड़ता, because ultimately you are putting money, so you are the complete owner of the business. But at the same time, जब खुद का पैसा लगा होता है तो ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस हो रहा होता है. तो why do you think people raise funds? मतलब if Ashneer will go, Ashneer बार कोई और एग्जांपल लेते हैं, मतलब let's say पीयूष बंसल, anyway पीयूष बंसल ज़्यादा लेंसकार्ट के अलावा कोई दूसरा प्रोडक्ट खोलता है तो भी वो पैसा रेज करेगा. मतलब वो अपना पैसा नहीं लगाएगा, जबकि उसका बहुत पैसा दूसरों में लगाने के लिए, बट अपने बिजनेस में नहीं लगाएगा. That is because risk taking appetite increases when it's someone else's money, right? So खुद का पैसा लगाओगे is going to be very stressful. You're going to waste a lot of time overthinking and trying to build. But again, something that you can do if you want complete ownership. And credibility, guys. I think credibility is the utmost important aspect if you want to sell your product to a customer, because a customer will also not buy from you if they don't know you, right? So LinkedIn is, as I was saying about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is where you can build your credibility, right, in that topic. Let's say you're selling something in the AI domain, then you've been studying AI for a while, you should be able to write about it on LinkedIn and build your profile over the time. Right? So credibility, if you have investors, let's say a Sequoia or a Nexus or any of those big investors, then you can straight away go to a customer and say, "Ki, boss, I have this as an investor, and I am very passionate to build this." The customer would not question you, right? The customer would be, "If Sequoia ने पैसे डाले हैं, तो कुछ सोच समझ के पैसे डाले हैं." So those things you miss when you're bootstrapping, right? So that is what happened with us. Initially, our customers were they would have like one user per day, kind of a traffic, and उससे शुरू करके build करके credibility. Then when we had gotten into Y Combinator, which is very prestigious, then it was easier for us to sell it to customers because customers knew कि हाँ मतलब एक कल को company गायब नहीं हो जाएगी. The founders would not just vanish because they would not have money, right? So bootstrapping में credibility earn करना मुश्किल होता है, but in longer period of time you can build over your customers. That's it. I think this. So now, why I made this pitch deck was I was giving a lecture in an MBA school. I take a class there, and it was about bootstrapping versus fundraising. Right. So I figured that as college students, fundraising is still difficult, especially when you're not from an IIT. कोई ऐसे मतलब भाव नहीं देगा ज़्यादा. तो I faced it, so I can talk about it. So now bootstrapping is the only option. Then you can go to incubation centers and get money, get started on your business, and see कहाँ ले जाता है. Do not let money be the problem to stop your business. There are enough resources. So bootstrapping versus fundraising was the reason why I made this slide, and I think that's it. I think I wanted to talk about these things only with you guys. I think I'm open to Q&A. मेरे को तो Q&A. I think do we have enough time? We can do a Q&A. Great. So you have another mic that works. Guys, feel free. मेरे टाइम पे कोई एल्यूमनाई नहीं था मेरे पास बताने स्टार्टअप के बारे में, तो कुछ भी रैंडम बेसिक डाउट है ना तो भी पूछना, मतलब आई डोंट माइंड. गुड. हाँ तो एब्सोल्युटली, मतलब यू कैन हैव माय नंबर. मैं दे दूंगा बट रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करूँगा. तो LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to me. But you will have, if it's a B2C application, you can roll it out, put it out there, and give your friends the first set of experience. मतलब अगर आपके friends ही नहीं ले रहे आपसे तो मतलब there is definitely you're not building something that your audience would buy. Right? So find the right audience, and audience generally हमारे आसपास ही होती है. मतलब first idea that I was building in Invoid was not the one that we ended up building. वो कुछ और था, और वो मेरे पेरेंट्स ही नहीं कन्विंस थे. मतलब I would go to them or my relatives and tell them कि I am solving this, बोलते क्या चलेगा, क्यों चलेगा, और तब मेरे को कहते ऐसे कैसे नहीं चलेगा, चलाएंगे. But ultimately ये हुआ कि if they weren't convinced, which was the right thing. So they weren't convinced. I realized that the problem was not there. Then we pivoted. The next idea, definitely they thought that it was worthy some merit, right? So you need to sell to your friends, you need to sell to people around you, and if you're not able to do that, think about it, get feedback from them, and then pursue. माइक दे दो, और लोगों के भी डाउट होते हैं, कुछ लोग पूछते नहीं हैं, बट दूसरे पूछ लेते हैं तो फायदा हो जाता है.
So you suggested to pursue the entrepreneurial journey with our company, with our job and that. So wouldn't that be considered moonlighting?
Sorry?
Wouldn't that be considered moonlighting?
More?
Moonlighting.
Moonlighting तब होता है जब आप दो जगह से पैसे बना रहे हो. यहाँ तो पैसे बना तो नहीं रहे हो, जाने ही वाले हो, ठीक है. And when I was working in Ixigo, I was working partly on my idea, and the CTO knew it. Ixigo is a big company. How many of you heard of Ixigo? I think it's going to go IPO very soon. It's going to be public very soon. and it's now India's largest travel marketplace. The CTO knew, but you know the CTO was actually happy that they could inspire people in their company to build a company of their own. And so sometimes people are happy about it as long as आप दो जगह से पैसे नहीं कमा रहे अपना काम ध्यान से ठीक से कर रहे हो. Right, so that is important. वो moonlighting में नहीं काम करा जाएगा. I think people are happy about people around them starting up now.
सर आपको ऐसे B2B है, जो D2C होता है उसमें मोस्टली इंपॉर्टेंट ये होता है कि कस्टमर तक प्रोडक्ट पहुंचाना है. तो इनिशियल डेज में स्केल और मार्केट कैसे कर सकते हैं?
नहीं मिलेगा इनिशियल में मार्केट और स्केल. इनिशियल में friends and family, I'm going to repeat that. Friends and family are the first buyers. You have to sell to them, let them spread the word, go out there, build your brand on LinkedIn. Emphasizing on LinkedIn again and again because LinkedIn का algorithm network friendly है बहुत. It will roll out to your network very fast.
Still अगर थोड़े टाइम बाद अगर स्केल करना हो फिर क्या कुछ पॉइंट्स है जो हम कर सकते हैं स्केल पे?
First of all, जो Amazon और Flipkart है या Meesho है. Actually, Meesho is one platform where you can list your D2C products very easily as compared to Flipkart and Amazon. So those will not entertain you if you're a D2C brand first. So go to these smaller players who are listing, let's say दुकान हो गया या बिकाई हो गया. These are platforms which are taking products like at an nascent stage and then they go ahead and then you can list yourself on Amazon or Flipkart. I was talking to Arjun Vaidya. I don't know if you've heard of Arjun Vaidya from Dr. Vaidya.
अगर लिस्ट नहीं करना किसी पे, अगर अपने कुछ लाइक लिस्ट Amazon वगैरह में लिस्ट नहीं कोई अपने ब्रांड टाइप का कुछ कर रहे हैं तो उसमें मार्केटिंग या फिर उसमें स्केल करने की बात करें.
पहले आप दूसरे चैनल्स पे ही सेल करोगे, then only you can build your own brand.
थैंक यू सर.
एक ना दिक्कत आती है जैसे जब स्टार्ट करते हैं तो उसके बाद एक आइडिया है आपके पास, बट वो आइडिया कॉपी डाउन होने का खतरा होता है बाय बिग प्लेयर्स. अगर आपके पास आइडिया है तो उसको कोप अप कैसे किया जाए? इज इट कि हम इनिशियल जैसे हमारे पास मान लो फर्स्ट 100 कस्टमर्स आ गए, उसके बाद क्या वी शुड गो ऑन टू रेजिंग फंड्स एंड समथिंग जिससे कि हम एग्रेसिव मार्केटिंग से ग्रो कर सकें, या फिर हम धीरे-धीरे जैसे चलता ही है नॉर्मल बिजनेस में वैसे ही?
Got it. So बहुत लोगों को डाउट होता है कि मैं अपना आइडिया बाहर बता दूंगा तो कॉपी हो जाएगा या मैं इसको बता दूंगा तो कॉपी हो जाएगा, which is the real scale. वो अंडरस्टैंडेबल है, बट अगर नहीं बताओगे तो प्रोडक्ट भी तो नहीं चलने वाला ना.
नहीं सर, बताने की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैंने लॉन्च कर दिया आइडिया. आई हैव लॉन्च्ड आइडिया, वो वर्क कर रहा है, दैट्स वर्किंग. बट एक लो लेवल मान लो जैसे हमने एक सिटी में स्टार्ट किया हुआ आइडिया, वो सिटी में वर्क कर गया, उसके बाद आई वांट टू एक्सपैंड ऑल ओवर इंडिया में. वो एक्सपैंड करना है, मैंने मतलब आई वाज थिंकिंग ऑफ B2C.
करेक्ट.
मैं बिजनेस टू बिजनेस कुछ प्लान सोच रहा था एंड उसको लॉन्च करने के बाद अगर उसको एक्सपैंड करना है, एक्सपैंड करके इनिशियली मेरे पास जो भी फंडिंग होगी, जो भी फाइनेंस होगा वो बस अवेलेबल नहीं होगा, उसको किसी और ने अगर स्केल करना है, किसी और बिग प्लेयर ने स्केल करना है, दैट वुड बी वेरी इजी फॉर देम टू स्केल अप. सो उसके लिए हम क्या करें कि इनिशियली जैसे मान लो आपके साथ एक स्टेट में हम अगर सक्सेसफुल हो गए, देन शुड वी गो टू रेज फंड्स एंड देन और हम फिर हम धीरे-धीरे जैसे चलते रहे, एक में आए फिर धीरे-धीरे ग्रो करें. इसके अंदर कौन सी अप्रोच होगी जो ठीक रहेगी?
करेक्ट. सो बूटस्ट्रैपिंग इज स्लो. अपना पैसा लगाओगे तो स्लो रहेगा, बट अगर आप एक्सटर्नली रेज करोगे पैसा तो फास्ट हो जाएगा ग्रोथ. एंड द क्लासिक एग्जांपल इज जेप्टो. जेप्टो ने एक सिटी में शुरू किया, तब तक स्विगी और ब्लिंकिट ग्रोफर्स ने कुछ ध्यान नहीं दिया 10 मिनट ग्रोसरी पे, इसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता था. जैसे ही जेप्टो ने पैसे उठाए और स्केल करा, दैट पैसे उठाना स्केल करना इंपॉर्टेंट था उनके उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे. अगर वो तब नहीं करते तो वो बॉम्बे में रह जाते, बॉम्बे या बैंगलोर में. तो आई वाज टॉकिंग टू आदित्य, हु इज द फाउंडर ऑफ जेप्टो, एंड ही वाज बिल्डिंग किराना कार्ट बैक देन. मेरी उससे बात 2020 में हुई थी. ही इज अ गुड फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन. एंड बैक देन दे वर बिल्डिंग किराना कार्ट जिसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता था, कुछ और ही बनाते हो. बट देन दे स्टार्टेड 10 मिनट ग्रोसरी, जो हम में से किसी को नहीं पता था, ऑल द फाउंडर फ्रेंड्स. एंड देन व्हेन दे रेज द फंड्स एंड स्केल, दैट इज व्हेन वी गॉट टू नो, बिकॉज़ दैट वाज इतने छोटे टाइम में हुआ कि दे गॉटन द कस्टमर्स एंड रेज द फंड्स, ताकि जब स्विगी, इंस्टामार्ट निकला या ब्लिंकिट निकला तब तक दे हैड देयर ओन ग्रोथ. तो फंड इज इंपॉर्टेंट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम.
और सर मेंटर बनोगे मेरे?
हां,
मेंटर ही
लिंक्डइन पे पिच भेज दो ना, कोड कुछ तो कोड काम करो.
चलो कोड
पिच भेज सकते हो.
सर जो अपना आइडिया है मतलब उसको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग को बेस रख के बनाए या फिर अपने स्केल पर?
थोड़ा और अच्छे समझा क्वेश्चन।
मतलब जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अभी हम कोडिंग वगैरह करते हैं, तो कोडिंग हमें आती है, तो अपना स्टार्टअप भी उसी पे रखें या जो प्रॉब्लम जो फेस कर रहे हैं उसको सॉल्व करने पे फोकस करें?
यार अल्टीमेटली तो वो दोनों एक पॉइंट पे मर्ज हो जाना चाहिए ना। मतलब ओके, सो टेक्नोलॉजी इज नॉट द आंसर टू एनी प्रॉब्लम मैनुअली सॉल्व हो सकती है, टेक्नोलॉजी इज ओनली टू स्केल इट फर्दर। तो टेक्नोलॉजी अगर आपका सोल्यूशन है ओनली, तो इट हैज टू बी अ कोर प्रॉब्लम जो आपकी स्ट्रेंथ पे हो, राइट, और वो मर्ज करेगा एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। द प्रॉब्लम कैन ओनली बी सॉल्व थ्रू दैट टेक्नोलॉजी। तो यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक कि ये करूँ या वो करूँ, दोनों एक पॉइंट पे मर्ज होंगे, और वो मर्ज नहीं हो रहे हैं तो वो बिजनेस अच्छे से सॉल्व भी नहीं होगा प्रॉब्लम। तो मर्ज इट एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम।
Sir, what is the scope of defense in startups?
डिफेंस एज
Defense-
लाइक डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री या
Like defense industry, जैसे
तो अभी people who are like highly funded are working in defense, but if you are able to access hardware or IoT resources very easily, then you will be able to grow. वरना बहुत मुश्किल है grow करना।
enter कैसे कर सकते हैं उस market में? Like how?
Through government apps. Most importantly, your university, if they can connect you with someone in DRDO, that is the only way to scale in the defense space, because commercial नहीं बना पाओगे इतनी जल्दी।
तो वो privatization नहीं हो सकती?
पहले नहीं होगी प्राइवेटाइजेशन, पहले आप सेल गवर्नमेंट को, देन प्राइवेटाइजेशन कैन कम एट द कमर्शियल स्केल।
सर, आपका KYC स्टार्टअप था, तो फिर मैं ये जरूर करता हूँ कि आपके यहाँ पर फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन इस्तेमाल हो रहा है। तो फिर जो डेटा है फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन का, आप क्या कहते हैं, या तो आप उसे डेटाबेस में रख सकते हो, या फिर आप उसे एज ए इमेज फेस को निकाल के आप उसे एक अलग जगह पे रख सकते हो। तो फिर आपके कंपनीज में आप क्या फेशियल डेटा को किसी डेटाबेस पे रखते हो, या फिर एक फाइल सिस्टम पे रखते हो, या फिर मतलब?
तो वेक्टर्स में कन्वर्ट करके उनको डेटाबेस में स्टोर कर सकते हैं, बट हम उसको S3 में स्टोर करते थे इमेज को, बिकॉज दो बार स्टोरेज नहीं यूज करने का पॉइंट। तो इमेजेस ज़्यादा यूजफुल है एज कम्पेयर टू द वेक्टर्स, क्योंकि इमेज से मैं वेक्टर वापस बना सकता हूँ, बट वेक्टर से इमेज नहीं कंस्ट्रक्ट कर सकता वापस।
जैसे कि अगर फास्ट सर्च करना है कि किसका किससे मैच करना है, उसमें इसमें वेक्टर्स फास्ट है।
तो वो सर्चिंग के लिए इनफ एल्गोरिथम से सॉल्व प्रॉब्लम है। फेसबुक का एक एल्गोरिथम है which helps you search faces within a list of faces, compare them faster। वो एक एल्गोरिथम पब्लिक है, that is available, open source है वो।
एक क्वेश्चन था कि आपने कंपनी एग्जिट किया, तो पैसे एक रीजन होता है कि और भी कोई रीजन होता है?
पैसे किसको नहीं चाहिए, मतलब anyway, so there are multiple reasons। Of course money is one। आप बना रहे हो lot of founders की नेटवर्थ होती है, बट एक्चुअल बैंक इन अकाउंट मनी इन अकाउंट नहीं होता बहुत। तो यू वांट टू मेक श्योर कि लिक्विडिटी हो। लिक्विडिटी इज वन थिंग दैट यू डोंट हैव अ लॉट व्हेन यू आर अ फाउंडर। सो मनी वाज वन रीजन, यस। सेकंड वाज द मार्केट वाज श्रिंकिंग। मार्केट श्रिंकिंग से मतलब है गवर्नमेंट, जैसे ओके फॉर एग्जांपल पेमेंट्स वाज एन इंडस्ट्री वेयर अ लॉट ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स केम इन एन एरा, बट देन गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च्ड यूपीआई एनपीसीआई, तो पेमेंट्स इंडस्ट्री बहुत कम हो गई, राइट, और कंसोलिडेट हो गई। अब एक दूसरे को खरीद रहे हैं, पेयू बिल्डर्स को खरीद रहा है, कंसोलिडेट हो रहा है, इजी टैप को रेजर पे खरीद रहा है। सो दैट इज व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन माय इंडस्ट्री वेरी सून। वी कुड सी दैट। तो मार्केट वाज श्रिंकिंग बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट हैज कीन इंटरेस्ट इन आइडेंटिफिकेशन। अभी डिजी लॉकर सबको पता ही है, राइट, डिजी लॉकर आ गया। डिजी लॉकर अब कंपनीज को मिल जाता है टू एक्सेस, तो योर डिजी लॉकर कैन बी एक्सेस्ड बाय द कंपनी डायरेक्टली। तो मेरी आइडेंटिटी वेरिफिकेशन प्रोडक्ट की इंपॉर्टेंस कम हो जाती है बिकॉज ऑफ डिजी लॉकर। So there are multiple initiatives that the government is launching, which makes the market shrink. Though we could have expanded in every other domain, but I think this was the right time. Peak में exit लेना is better than low में जाके exit लेना।
सर बेसिकली यू सेड कि ओवर सेटल्ड, जैसे आपने जॉब ले ली थी, तो उसके बाद जब आप स्टार्ट करते हो तो रिस्क फैक्टर रहता है, फियर भी रहता है स्टार्ट करने में, तो उसको आपने कैसे डील किया था?
जॉब छोड़े बिना या जॉब के साथ?
जैसे कि
जॉब छोड़े बिना या जॉब छोड़ के?
जॉब छोड़ के।
अच्छा, जॉब छोड़ के तो आई थिंक इफ यू स्टार्ट समथिंग विदाउट एनीथिंग इन हैंड, देन तब प्रॉब्लम होगी, मतलब वो रिस्क हाईएस्ट होगा, बट तब आपका स्किन इन द गेम भी हाईएस्ट होगा। यू अंडरस्टैंड स्किन इन द गेम, मतलब आप तब सबसे ज्यादा डेडिकेटेड हो गए, आप सब एफर्ट डाल दोगे, तो रिस्क मैक्स होगा, but your dedication will also be max. So you have to understand ki what kind of person you are. It depends person to person. Some people have to leave the job to start a business, but अगर same approach लेनी है, तो you should always try to build it parallelly with your job. Don't leave your job for that.
जैसे मैं पूछ रहा था, जैसे आप बता रहे बूटस्ट्रैप होता है, तो मतलब उसमें जैसे हम बूटस्ट्रैप से करेंगे बिजनेस, मतलब कोई करते हैं स्टार्टअप, तो ये तो उसमें तो हमारा कम होगा फंडिंग, तो फिर
बूटस्ट्रैपिंग में, हाँ, तो बूटस्ट्रैपिंग में आपकी फोकस टू बिकम प्रॉफिटेबल या फोकस टू बिल्ड अ बिजनेस इज हायर, क्योंकि आपके पास पैसे जब बनाओगे तभी पैसे आने वाले, क्योंकि एक्सटर्नली कोई पैसे नहीं है. तो मेरे केस में आई थिंक दैट वाज वेरी हेल्पफुल, because for me I knew that I had to sell my product no matter what in a profitable manner, then only I will be able to survive. So you थोड़ा पैसा होगा, but बाकी दूसरा पैसा कस्टमर से लाना पड़ेगा. Customers have to be your biggest investors if you want to make a profit.
जैसे पहले बूटस्ट्रैप करना चाहिए, उसके बाद फंडिंग लेनी चाहिए.
हाँ, बूटस्ट्रैप करके अगर आपने बिजनेस बना लिया तो आपको फंडिंग की डेस्परेट नीड नहीं है. और पता है बेस्ट टाइम टू रेज फंड्स इज व्हेन यू डोंट नीड द फंड्स. इन्वेस्टर के पास जाके बोलो कि नहीं देगा तो भी चलेगा, तो इन्वेस्टर पक्का डालेगा. इन्वेस्टर को लगेगा यार इसको पैसे की जरूरत नहीं है, तो पक्का ये कुछ ऐसा कर बचा रहा है जो आई विल मिस आउट द अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो इन्वेस्टर्स आर वेरी इंटरेस्टेड दैट वे.
और जैसे आप बता रहे हैं कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स होती हैं, मतलब इसमें ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल रहती हैं, तो मतलब उसको कैसे बढ़ाएं?
यार कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स यूट्यूब वगैरह तो है, मतलब बहुत कॉमन चीज़ है, बट टॉक टू इनफ पीपल, मेक मिस्टेक्स. जाके कोल्ड मैसेज करो, कोल्ड ईमेल करो, अपने आप 4 रिस्पॉन्सेज आएंगे और 400 नहीं आएंगे, तो पता चल जाएगा व्हाट वेयर थिंग्स वर्क एंड वेयर इट डिड नॉट वर्क. सो यू विल इंप्रूव दैट. यू टॉक टू इनफ पीपल.
हेलो सर. हाय. करेंटली अभी सिनेरियो हम देख रहे हैं स्टार्टअप फंडिंग की, इट इज करेंटली द लोवेस्ट इन लास्ट 2 इयर्स. स्टार्टअप फंडिंग बहुत सूख रही है करेंटली. तो सम पीपल आर सेइंग दैट इट इज अ बबल, कि एक बार बहुत ज़्यादा फंडिंग हो गई एंड नाउ दैट वाज जस्ट अ बबल, और इतनी फंडिंग नहीं हुई है करेंटली. इट वाज जस्ट अ बबल. सो व्हाट यू आर सेइंग?
ऐसा नहीं है, पैसे उनको नहीं मिल रहे जो अच्छा. तो ओके, सो बाइजू ने भी अभी ले ऑफ करके पैसे रेस कर लिए, राइट. तो ऐसा नहीं कि पैसे नहीं है मार्केट में, एंड स्पेशली उतनी स्टेज छोटे लेवल पे तो पैसे अवेलेबल हैं. मतलब दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई हैव टॉक्ड टू अ कपल ऑफ फाउंडर्स इन द यूएस, फ्रेंड्स, एंड आई आस्क्ड देम कि ये रियल है, कितना रियल है ये बबल बर्स्ट. तो दे लाइक कि जितना पैसा अगर किसी कंपनी को बनाने के लिए चाहिए उतना वाइडली अवेलेबल. वाइडली मतलब ओके, सो आई नो सिनेरियोज वेयर समबडी, सो फाउंडर्स हैव अ लॉट ऑफ सर्कल, राइट. व्हाट्सएप पे बहुत सारे ग्रुप्स रहते हैं हमारे, एंड आई रिमेंबर वन ऑफ द कंपनीज पोस्टेड देयर पिच डेक, and one of the founders in that group had said that I put in money in this company and I want to share it with you guys. If you think आपको पैसा डालना तो डाल सकते हो. I think within 2 minutes he was able to raise $100,000. $100,000 is 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs कितना भी होगा, 80 lakhs के आसपास, right? So it is very easy because इतने founders को exit मिला है, इतने founders ने भी पैसा बनाया in the last few years कि सबको deploy ही करना है startups में. तो money is available and you can raise it from angels. Angel investors तो too late to ask, but सबको पता ही होगा I think. तो angel investors से you can raise money.
We can expect that startup funding will increase because it is lowest in the last 2 years right now.
नहीं, तो next year might be also not that prevalent, but छोटा round raise करना is very easy.
सर मेरा सर्वर क्रेडिट से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है. जैसे कि आपने बताया कि आपने $2.5 लाख से करेक्ट. तो अगर मेरे को लेना है, जैसे मैंने तो क्या नाम है 1 साल के लिए फ्री मिलता है जिसमें 1 GB रैम, लेकिन अगर मेरे को स्केल करना है तो मैं कैसे करूँ?
तो क्रेडिट्स मनी के फॉर्म में मिले या सर्वर्स के फॉर्म में मिले?
मतलब सर्वर चाहिए मेरे को, कि
हाँ.
मेरे को एक अच्छा खासा सर्वर चाहिए जिससे मैं जैसे लेट्स से मिलियन या फिर कितने भी अगर मेरे पास यूजर आ गए मैं हैंडल कर सकूँ.
हाँ.
तो मेरे को कैसे मतलब ईमेल वगैरह या कैसे किससे बात करनी पड़ेगी, कैसे क्या करना पड़ेगा?
वो ओके, सो अगर वो प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है, वैसे जब आएंगे तब आपके पास पैसा होगा. अगर आपके पास मिलियन का लोड है सर्वर पे,
मतलब मिलियन तो भी मतलब स्टार्टिंग में तो सिर्फ एक जीबी रैम का मिलता है
हाँ
और 1 GB रैम में तो मुश्किल से 1000 हैंडल हो पाएंगे तो
राइट तो ओके सो क्रेडिट्स तो मिलते ही हैं बट यू कैन ऑल्सो मेल दीज पीपल राइट पार्टनरशिप्स हेड एट AWS or partnerships head at Azure and tell them you are building something valuable and explain it to them. You can convince them and get credits. If not that, you can also get credits, higher credits from incubation centers also. उनके पास भी partnerships होती है. तो AWS, let's say GGSIP का partner होगा, I'm not sure है या नहीं भी, but they also can give you $5,000 या $10,000 worth credits. So that is also available through them.
और ये ग्रांट होता है या फिर कुछ इक्विटी वगैरह?
Grant, pure grant. बिकॉज वो स्टिक करवा रहे हैं ना, आप उनको यूज करना शुरू करोगे, जब उनकी क्रेडिट्स खत्म हो जाएंगे तो आप कहीं और तो जा नहीं पाओगे बिकॉज योर सर्वर, योर कोड, एवरीथिंग इज लाइंग देयर, डेटाबेस बन गया, आपकी कंफर्ट बन गया, तो देन दे विल स्टार्ट चार्जिंग राइट. तो इमेजिन अगर $250,000 क्रेडिट्स थे तो जब क्रेडिट खत्म होंगे तो बिल कितना हुआ होगा. तो AWS तो के तो मजा आ गया ना, बिकॉज दैट टेक्निकली दे डिस्काउंट करके उन्होंने मेरे को एज अ कस्टमर बना लिया था.
Anybody has any questions?
Last question if anyone has. Cool.
I had a question.
अरे पूछो.
Basically अभी आपने बोला था कि
आपने during the speech you said कि customer acquisition cost is a major cost. मतलब जैसे कि आपने बताया था टारगेट लेके आपको 5 मिनट में हो जाता है. उस चीज को आपने कैसे मिनिमाइज करा है? इट वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग.
तो उसका एक तरीका है कि estimate where you're going to spend money and where you're going to spend equity. ठीक है. तो people who are working with you, mostly दो टाइप के कॉस्ट ही मेजर होते हैं स्टार्टअप में. One is people's cost and second is cost of customer acquisition. Right. तो people's cost को reduce करके you can allocate your budget to customer acquisition cost. Right. तो best way is to give equity, sweat equity to your let's say developers or people who are working with you or your partners, and make sure that you tell them that probably after some time we will give you money, but for now we can give you some equity that you can keep so that you are as much as partner to this as we are, and use that cost for customer acquisition methods. But हर बार आपके पास प्राइस लेने के वैसे नहीं होते, वो तो हमारे पास थे, हमने रखे हुए थे, या we had less people so we could travel, but apart from that you would have to use that opportunity. But in today's world it's not like that. I think so that customer would ask us to come over, did not buy a product, but when COVID hit, within 3 weeks Zoom, पता नहीं कहाँ से उसमें Zoom कॉल उसको सब करना आ गया. पहले उसको Zoom कॉल करना नहीं आता था, उससे ये सब मीटिंग्स नहीं होती थी, but COVID होते ही within 3 weeks it got implemented, the whole product. And this case study is available on Google, by the way. AWS has a case study over Invoid where they've talked about how we have used AWS for a banking product and launched it within 3 weeks. There's a YouTube video also where I'm explaining my architecture of my product and presenting it to CTO of Zenotha and everyone else for a competition. So all the things are available, and it's just that when necessity is there, when you are building something that is must have for them. Because COVID में remote identity verification is the only way you are going to onboard your customers. Physically तो मिल नहीं सकते आप customers से बैंक कुछ भी product बेचने के लिए. तो when it's a must have product, then they will definitely find out a way to use it. तो आपको फ्लाइट लेने की जरूरत नहीं होगी. उसके लिए तब good to have product था, must have product नहीं था. तभी उसने बोला कि आएंगे, देख लेंगे, 5 मिनट लगा लेंगे, बस सेंस बनी तो ठीक है. बट उसको जब बोला कि हाँ भाई ये कस्टमर ये अब तो चाहिए हमको प्रोडक्ट, नहीं होगा तो मेरा धंधा रुक जाएगा. That is when your CAC will go low. So necessity CAC low हो जाएगी. I think last चलो.
So what time is best? Like student pursuing the journey within when they are student is best, or after during our
बेस्ट तो स्टूडेंट ही है. मतलब एक गोल्डन इज की एज अर्ली एज यू कैन स्टार्ट, राइट. बट एज स्टूडेंट आपके पास टाइम तो होगा, बट if you do not have how to put it, like you might have some people to answer to, right? It could be your parents, could be, I don't know, relatives तो नहीं होने चाहिए, but parents only. So if you do not have any pressure or anything from their side, or if you don't have any pressure or any goal set for yourself, then you can start when you are studying, right? That's a good way to start. मतलब when I was studying, Smart India Hackathon first time हुआ था, I was the winner. स्मार्ट इंडिया हैकाथॉन से कॉलेज से गए थे. Then by that time I had completed 4 internships कॉलेज में. समर में, विंटर में सब इंटर्नशिप के लिए, मतलब जितनी छुट्टियां मिली सब इंटर्नशिप करी. तो if you have that knack, if you want to build it, तो हो जाएगा कॉलेज में भी. You have enough time, you can do it. Cool, I think I'm done with the questions. Thank you guys. अभी तक बैठे हो, very patient. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarthak sir, for enriching our students by your life experiences and honoring us by this session and presence.
गाइस पिक्चर क्लिक करवानी है तो प्लीज अभी रुक जाओ, स्टेज पे आ जाओ.